Hi, everybody. Hi, Janine. Thanks for
Hello.
holding this space and welcoming everybody, as you always do so well. Thank you, everybody, for being here on the live webinar with me. I'm at the moment I'm in very sunny South Africa, in a little village called Wilderness, and we really are in the wilderness here, so right on the edge of the forest. So it's beautiful just to be in nature and yeah, to be doing this with good internet in the middle of the wilderness as well, which is very helpful at times like these. So I'm just going to lead you through how the webinar is going to sort of play out today, because it's slightly different to my normal ones. So it really is about the purpose of this webinar is for those of you who are interested in signing up to an animal communication course with AnimalTalk Africa online, or for those who are already signed up but just want to have that extra boost and to a bit of extra encouragement. We've got this new platform now and so many more tools and tips and different programs. So I'm going to run through all those. And then we're also going to be doing a practice session with my dear cat Barbie, who was offered her services today as a teacher. She's not with me personally, but we're going to be working with a photograph, and this is to prepare you for lesson 7, which is part of the academy modules where you start working with animals. So without further ado, let us go into an opening meditation. I'm going to switch my camera off so that we can really get the full effect of just the sound of my voice and others who are going to speak rather than the video. So as I do that, please just make yourself really, really comfortable and put your feet firmly on the ground. Okay, so as you see this beautiful picture of Mandla and Zaira that was taken a number of years ago, showing their absolute unconditional love for each other and their greeting of touching foreheads. Now just slowly, you can close your eyes and take a deep breath in and slowly breathe out. And as you sit here, take your focus on your feet and make sure they are firmly on the ground beneath you. Or just feel, if you're sitting cross-legged, just feel your seat firmly on the base beneath you, your back straight. And as you take another deep breath in and out, feel all your anxieties or worries flow out of your body. As you breathe in a beautiful rose gold colored light. And breathe it into your heart space, the center of your chest. Feel it filling up your heart. And then when you breathe out any negativity, any anxieties, any worries. And you can perhaps see it as a dark shadow just leaving you. And as it leaves you, it is transformed into a beautiful rose gold light. And the rose gold is the color of unconditional love. And that is the energy that we work with when we want to connect with all beings. So take another breath in of that rose gold light. Breathe it in, let it fill your heart space and fill every cell of your body. And breathe out, just breathing out any residual anxieties or heaviness. seeing that heaviness being transformed into lightness. And then breathe in that light again. Take a few more breaths until there's no heavy feeling left, until you feel warm and light, and your heart feels clean and pure. Now, from your heart space, I want you to extend that light and that feeling of unconditional love out from your body, from your heart, and extend it out to all the beings that are in the room with you, and extend it out further to those that are outside of the building, in the gardens, all of nature, the birds, the bees, the animals, the insects, and all the plants, the trees, the grasses, and then extend it even wider to the earth, to the crystals and the natural minerals, and then extend it to the waters, the streams and the seas. Know that there's no limit to this energy of unconditional love. You can extend it out throughout the world, including all the people that are listening in right now, connecting us all, knowing that there's no separation, that we are all part of the whole, and that we are all one, and therefore we can communicate with all beings with no limits when we work through this unconditional love. Now just be still in this energy for a little while, just a couple of breaths. And as you're focusing on your heart center, feel the support and love that Mother Nature has for you at this time. Feel that unconditional love coming back to you and cleaning and clearing your heart even more. Now take your focus back to your breath, and then become aware of your feet firmly on the ground. Become aware of your physical body. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes. Okay. So I hope that has helped center you and connect you and get you in the right space for the next hour and a half or so. So one of the things that I want to reassure everyone about is that absolutely everybody is able to communicate with animals in this way, intuitively, with energy. And all you need, really, truly, all you need is love. And all you need is unconditional love, which is something that humans actually have to remember to feel. And a lot of people aren't familiar with that feeling of unconditional love. And this is what the animals help us to feel and to experience. And this is why connecting with the animals through this energy of unconditional love is so vital in my opinion, and my experience rather than my opinion. So love is probably the most important aspect of this work. And as long as you have a deep love for nature and the animals, you can do this. You're halfway there. possibly more than halfway there. An open heart and an open mind. So if you believe this is possible and your heart is open, you will be able to communicate with all beings. It is our birthright. When we are born, we are able to communicate in this way. We silently communicate with those around us. We're communicating with our mothers. We're communicating with other babies that we come into contact with. I'm sure you've noticed toddlers, how they have developed their own sort of way of communicating, and it's not using words. It's using energy and telepathy. And this really is an ancient skill and an ancient natural skill. The indigenous people will still use it in their shamanic works and with the medicine people. But we know that you as an ordinary individual are able to communicate with animals. You've just forgotten how to do it. And I think what Animal Talk Africa and what my work is about, or my teaching work is about helping you to remember how to do this. That's all it is. It's just a remembering and a reconditioning, because we've been conditioned by society to believe that this is perhaps strange or not possible. So throughout the years, I've come across people saying, but why would you want to talk with animals? And, I always thought this was quite a strange question, because why wouldn't you want to talk with animals, in my opinion? But really, why study interspecies communication? I suppose I'm so passionate about getting people to start communicating with animals in this way on such a deep level, because the more people that know how to communicate with animals, the more animals we can help, the more we can help the planet, and the more we can raise consciousness in other humans and in ourselves, because this really is a spiritual journey. It's not just about helping the poor animals. Actually, it's about the animals helping us. But, the basic reasons, why would you want to learn how to communicate with animals? Obviously, you get to understand the needs of other animals on the planet. And you learn how to help animals understand the human rules and the boundaries that they have to live in. They have to live in a set of boundaries that are so unnatural in this world. Most animals, there are very few wild animals that are left to their own devices now. So even our wildlife is so managed, and it really helps to be able to explain to them why they can't break down the fences, why it's dangerous to behave in a certain way. And this also applies to domestic animals, of course. All animals have to live under human domain, it seems like, in this time. But beyond that, it's learning how to live harmoniously with other species, including insects and wildlife. So, communicating with the wasps that have built a nest in your garage, or the baboons that come and damage the pear tree that you love so much. You can communicate and negotiate with them. But you can also start learning how to understand yourself. And that is one of the greatest things I've seen with my students, is really helping them to find their blocks and what is holding them back in the world. And it really is a healing process to be able to connect with the animals in this way. Of course, you learn about energy and how it works. And as I've already said, it is a spiritual journey. Sort of recognizing that we can be at one with all life, that we are at one with all life. And it's just acknowledging that and learning to live in that knowledge, as that we are not separate, that we are all connected. So a lot of the common fears that come up when people who are new to this work, or don't even want to, are a bit scared to go there. I've heard people say, animal communicators have got such a great gift, but I wouldn't want to do that because imagine feeling all the pain and suffering of the animals all the time, and imagine the responsibility. And yes, that's true. There is a great responsibility when we start listening to the animals and they're asking us to do things. And of course, we do feel their pain and suffering. But if you are here now at this moment, listening to this, you are already feeling their pain and suffering. You are already feeling a responsibility. And what this course does, and what, learning animal communication does, is help you to transform that pain and suffering and help you to find balance and actually to experience the joy and peace that nature gives us and the animals give us. So it helps you to focus on the joy rather than the pain and suffering. It helps you to see the balance, and the animals really help us to create the balance within us as well. I remember I used to suffer from terrible depression before I started doing this work. And the moment I started connecting to the animals and then to other species, the plants and elementals, on this deep level, my bouts of depression got so much less. And now, if I feel that sort of heaviness coming, I know what to do. I know how to transform it. And it is through the help of the animals that I've managed to do this. So it really is a healing process as well. So if that doesn't convince you to start on this journey, I'll carry on more about the nitty gritty of what the Academy offers and how it works, so I'm going to go through what, the benefits of actually signing up with AnimalTalk Africa. So, of course, we offer an introduction to the basics of interspecies communication, and that comes with online support from mentors, online support from the student community, so the whole student body. We've got about 160 people signed up at the moment. Not all of them are active, so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this webinar, so that some people who have perhaps got a bit stuck on the way will feel encouraged to take up their learning again. There's regular practice opportunities that Janine offers, and which is invaluable. I mean, the only way you're going to be confident in this work is by practicing. And of course, there's the onward learning through the intermediate lessons and the practitioner course, the certification course. And I'm going to speak to all of those courses in a little while. So the introduction course consists of 9 modules or lessons with separate topics. They actually go quite deep. The first few lessons basically ease you into the concept, and there's simple meditations and simple assignments. From lesson number 5, you start going much deeper into, really what it takes to get yourself ready to connect, to actually do the work with the animals. From lesson 7, you start practicing with animals over a distance. So that's through photographs. And that is, you see a picture on the screen of my sunshine, who was my greatest teacher in life. She's now in spirit, and she's still actually a teacher in spirit on the course. But she's, just having that picture there reminds me of what wonderful practice sessions she did with people and how she helps. So just to talk a little bit about assignments, on almost each lesson there will be an assignment at the end that you need to submit. Some of it's very simple, so like just a feedback on a meditation. Some of it is really sort of deep and meaningful, where you really have to answer some tough questions. So I read through every assignment, and then I give you feedback, and so that you can, see how you are getting on. And it's so I can see how you're getting on in the course as well, even in the very beginning with the simple stuff. So in the assignments, it's really good to be honest and descriptive as you can. You can ask questions on the assignments as well, and I will respond. And on the new platform, when you submit an assignment, it comes to me via email, and you will I respond via email. So you'll get an email from me, and then we can actually start a conversation around that particular topic if you need to go backwards and forwards. And it's really important to submit an assignment whenever you asked, even if it's just a one line of feedback, just so that you can, there's steps on the course where you mark the topics complete, and that allows you to go on to the next lesson. So lesson 7 is where we start practicing with the actual animal communication. And this is where I found people sometimes get stuck. And I think it's because in the past we didn't, people had to get up to lesson 7 before they started practicing with photographs of animals, because up to lesson 7 prepares you for that. And this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this webinar now, because I want you to be able to practice from the very beginning. So it is, that's why we're doing a practice session with Barbie, so you can get a feel of what it's all about. So lesson 7 is really, it's facing your fears, because you've got a picture on the screen and you've got a set of questions, and you know that I or one of the animal's guardians are going to be reading those, and it's almost, it feels, the first time you do it, it can feel like a little bit of a test. But I want to assure you that it isn't a test. It is so that you can experience how you receive the messages. And it doesn't matter if you feel that it's all wrong. There's no such thing as getting it all wrong. If something doesn't resonate at the time, you might find that much later on you'll get an answer to why you got that information. I mean, I go through it in the course of how, so many times I felt, oh my, if someone said, no, that's completely wrong, that I don't know what you're talking about, 2 or 3 months later, they'll come back to me and say, oh my goodness, you were right. I just found out that one big thing was that a woman who was pregnant, who denied all knowledge of it, whereas her dog told me she was. And another one sort of, that their cat did have a black and white friend that lived down the road that they didn't know about. So information comes, and as long as you set the intention that you are going to be communicating with that particular animal at that particular time, all the information that comes will be coming from that animal. So the only way you start trusting yourself is by practice, by practicing. Practice. That's always, that's the only way, really. So Janine sets up amazing practice sessions, and she's going to speak about those in a little while. I'd also advise you to watch the recorded webinars, especially the past student calls with me, because we have webinars once a month, sometimes once every 2 months, just for the students, and that's included in the course, as part of the course content and material. And those are sometimes open just for questions, or I speak about particular topics that are relevant at the time. There's 2 webinars that I would recommend that you watch as well: the Love, Respect and Joy, and the link is there on the screen. That's in Big Marker, and that is actually a free, I've made it a free webinar for now. So Love and Respect and Joy, if you haven't seen that, I'd recommend that. And then the Wisdom from the Wild Ones is also a great one, which is where the giraffe gave, I speak about all the messages that I have received from wild animals, and the relevant one at the moment, and for me it sort of changed my way of teaching quite a bit, was from the giraffe about sending clean love and not contaminating the energy field with all our worries and anxieties and negativities. So that's how you get through lesson 7, by just really using the support system that you've got. Janine, I'd love you to talk about the practice sessions and also the community forum if you can now.
Yes, of course. So the discussion and practice sessions section, there's 2 different sections there. The discussions, because we had a different forum previously, and there was so much really brilliant information there that we copied it over. And so you can read through those old posts, and there is the ability to comment on them, ask questions, or just to share your experience. And then the practice sessions. So that's, as Wynter said before, practice is the only way to become very good at this. And you know, when I went through the training again and again, that was what Wynter would say: practice, practice, practice. And you know, when I went through all my case studies, I became the animal communicator I wanted to be, because I had this motivation to go through all the case studies, and so I was practicing a lot. And so I've set up for the introduction students, you can practice straight away with, I think there's about 13 animals there that you can practice with the moment you sign up. When you hand those assignments in, you send them in to me, and then I send them on to the guardian, and then I will send you an email with the response from the guardian. There's regular online practice sessions which are held on Big Marker. And then there's also one on the first Monday of every month. There's a 15 minutes a day commitment, which is where you get a picture of an animal and some questions on the Monday. And the commitment is that you, for 15 minutes every day for that 1 week, you communicate with the animal. And that's another way of making that commitment not only to the animals, but to yourself. And by sticking with it, you just get so much better. You just start to trust yourself more. You see the way that you communicate, you see how to do it well, you see what you need to do to prepare yourself. And at the end of that week, or on the Monday, so 1 week later, then you collate everything, you send it off to me, and again I send it to the guardian, and they'll respond. And then for those, we ask your animals to be teachers. So all the animals you'll be communicating with are the animal families of other students. So, I mean, that can help you. It can encourage you. Every time someone has an animal that is a teacher, the guardian will come back to me and said, that's really given me encouragement and motivation to get on with the course. So that can help you in that way, but it can also help you learn more about your own animal family. So there's opportunities there for you to practice regularly. And the community forum is basically, at the moment, it's a place where you can just introduce yourself, put a photograph, and I think it's only a couple of months since we went over to this platform now, and so that's going to build all the time. And then you get to see, you know, your kindred spirits who are sharing this, you know, this learning journey with you.
Oh, great. Thanks, Janine. And I think the community forum, can you do discussions? Can you start topics as well, or is that just only on the discussions page?
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, you can use it to ask questions of other students as well. Yeah,
Okay.
it can be used for that as well. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. The next thing I want to talk about is the mentorship program. It's also only been going a few months. We've got 12 mentors, and these are all people that have been through the courses. Some of them have completed the practitioner course and are actually professionals, very well regarded professionals in their own right. And a couple even teaching. Kate Muller, Saskia Hopf is teaching. I think Jenny in Australia is also teaching. So they are there really to hold your hand through it if you need your hand held, if you need any little extra support along the way. Janine, do you want to talk to that and say how the program actually works?
Sure. Yeah, so as Wynter said, your mentor can be a part of your support system if you need one. It's someone for you to feel safe with, as Wynter said, has been through the course, and you can ask any question of that person. When you sign up for the course, as part of the introduction email that you receive from me, we'll have the name of your mentor. So we allocate your mentor straight away. And then it's completely up to you whether you make contact. So your mentor will send you an email just to let you know that they're your mentor, and then it's completely up to you if you decide to take them up on their offer. So depending on the mentor, each mentor does things in their own way. So you might communicate via email, or you might communicate by Skype. That's something that you'll work out with the mentor. And then you work with them during the introduction course. If you've started it and 6 months you haven't felt like you needed to talk to someone, and then suddenly you come up against a block, a challenge, then you can contact them. So and you'll have their email. And yeah. And just to say that Wynter has chosen each mentor personally.
Thanks. And I know not all of them could make it on the call today, but I see Yolinda is here, and Yolinda, I'd love you to just say a little bit about your experience of the mentorship and how it's helped your students or mentees. I think you just need to put your mic on.
Yes.
Should be up the top right. Now. Oh, Gail's on.
Yes, I am.
Gail, while we're waiting for Yolinda, Gail's another mentor from the USA. Gail, would you like to say a few words about the work you've done as a mentor?
Oh, thank you for having me on. Being a mentor, well, first of all, joining the AnimalTalk Africa community has just been a delight and a joy to me. And everyone here is so kind and loving and supportive. And so it has been a wonderful journey. And anyone joining this community, I know, is going to have a fantastic experience. So being a mentor has been a lot of fun. It has given me a sense of extending that joy and support and helping my mentees have just, again, find out where you might be stuck. And it's really just having a conversation. I'm just here, or any mentor is here, to inspire and encourage you to step forth and remember who you are. I mean, Wynter, you said it so perfectly. We all have this capability, and it's really just remembering what we've forgotten and being in that love space. So I've found that we've had wonderful conversations, my mentee and I, the people that I've worked with, and it's been delightful to share our own stories and to talk about our own animals and practice with that. And then as we're here as a mentor, to encourage you, as we've been saying, to get on the forum and to practice. So we're just here to support and to encourage and to help you remember who you really are. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Gail. That was, lovely. It's wonderful to have you on the call here and as a mentor. So thank you. Yolinda, would you like to say a few words? It'd be great.
Hi, Wynter. Thank you so much. I apologize in anticipation. I've got two little rescues that jump at any new sound, and then the neighborhood goes to shot. For me, the mentorship program, I feel as a mentor, I feel like I'm a potential tow truck or a pair of jumper cables when the battery goes dead, and when you get stuck in the mud. And I think the mentors are then there to, whether you need just a little bit of a push to get out, or whether you need a real tow, that's what the mentors are there to help us. And the mud being anything from that self-doubt that we all have from time to time, or when life gets completely out of hand and we just find it so difficult to commit time, to make time and commit time to sit down, or whether it's those times in life where we struggle to find the silence that we need to do this work. So it's not, I think, that the mentors are better than anybody else. I think we've just become more adept at learning, that we've learned how to deal with the hiccups when they do come along. So that's what I see the mentorship as, and I think it's a wonderful opportunity for us to help, as we were helped when we came in along the ranks. So from my side, yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea, and I think it's going to grow and grow.
Wonderful. Thank you, Yolanda and Gail. And yes, I think you know what the stumbling blocks are. You've been through it. And that is so valuable. And I extend my thanks to my mentors all the time, because since they've come on board, it's really made a difference. I've seen how people are going through the courses that much quicker, with much less doubt and much more enthusiasm. So it really has made a difference. Thank you. I just want to mention the extra support that's out there as well with Sophia Salter. She used to be a full-time facilitator on the Academy. She's recently just gone to more of a consultant role. But Sophia is amazing as an energy psychologist, as well as an incredibly good animal communicator. She offers private online sessions, and her gift, I think, is to help people overcome any really deep-seated fears or blocks that are holding you back. So if the mentors can't, if you're finding things really struggling on an emotional level, because that's also what happens when we start connecting with animals in this deep way, our stuff comes up. And sometimes we really do need someone, a professional, who understands this work, to help you through that. And that is what Sophia is so very, very good at. And so just to show you that she's there as well, and her website there, mindbodywisdom.co.uk. And her details, once you sign up, are in the course materials, obviously, as well. Okay. But saying that, you don't need to be a student to contact her if you need help as well. So, oh, sorry, wrong slide. Intermediate course. So once you've finished and completed the introduction course, that really gives you, how you are able to communicate with the animals. You know the basics, you know all the different ways of communication, you know the best way you communicate, you know how it feels. You'll start becoming aware of all the challenges that's involved. And if you want to take this further and really start doing more self-work, the intermediate course I'd highly recommend, because that, again, it's more about working with yourself rather than sessions with the animals, although the practice is even deeper now, once you finish the introduction course. So it's guided by me. If I don't have time or I'm away, Sophia will take on some of the assignments as well. And so there's always someone there to support you. again, as I said, self-work, facing challenges. We start addressing things like sacred activism and how you can do work in the community, in the animal community, what kind of things you can get involved with in a very practical, physical way. We touch on interbeing communication, which is, communicating with all species, not just animals, but with the plant beings, the nature beings. And it really is about deepening your practice. So just going to the next level. And then most people, once they have, if you've committed to the intermediate course, and they want to start becoming a professional, or calling themselves a professional animal communicator and able to help other people with their animals, and then there's the certification course. You can do this even if you don't want to become a professional. And I've had a couple of students do this just because they want to do their own case studies. They want to carry on the work and not necessarily become a professional. But really, the certification course is to prepare you to start creating your own practice, so that you can start making a living, hopefully, with your clients, and by doing the thing that you really love, and that is by helping fellow animal beings. So the certification course, we really talk about the professional ethics of being an animal communicator, because I think AnimalTalk Africa prides itself on creating really ethical professionals. So, there are so many people calling themselves animal communicators now that have just literally done a weekend course, and haven't done the work involved and don't have the experience involved. They might have a great talent or a great gift, but there's things that you really need to be careful of, especially in this day and age, when you are working with clients. People working with people can be challenging, and so we address all those challenges of the doubts. And we're all animal people. I'm certainly not a people's people, but I learned how to work with people in my practice, and what to do and what not to do. So we cover all those things, how to set up a practice, how do you even go about starting, and that's how by collecting your case studies is the first step. Self-awareness, how much energy to extend, how to conserve your energy, how to put boundaries in place. I do ask for 24 case studies, and they're all assessed by me or Sophia. And those 24 case studies, I came to that figure. Some people think it's a lot, and then other people think it's not enough. I came to that number because for me, when I first started practicing, when I wanted to be a professional communicator, I spent a year doing cases for free, collecting case studies. I would do about, quite a number. I was able to do about 3 or 4 a week. So what I'm looking for in case studies is the best, most successful case studies that you've done over, perhaps even over a year. So that allows you 2 case studies a month. So some people will do it in much less than a year, but it really is about getting that experience of working with clients, working with animals, and making a difference. It's not just about knowing, where the animal sleeps at night, or what the color of their food bowl is. It really is about solving issues that are in the household. So that is what the case studies are all about. And of course, the certification, we are recognized for insurance purposes. There are a lot of countries that if you call yourself a professional animal communicator, you do need to have insurance, so that people can be referred to you. So, okay, so that's the spiel really about the course. So I just want to I want you to take a few minutes now just to recenter yourself, because we're going to go straight into the practice session. And if you've got questions about the course or even about the practice session, we've got a Q&A at the end of the practice session. All right. So really, I just want you to close your eyes again and put your feet firmly on the ground. And just take a few deep breaths in. And breathe out as well. Take your focus down to your heart space. And feel that beautiful rose gold light filling your heart. Feel that unconditional love energy vibrating in that heart space. And slowly open your eyes, and I'm just going to take you through the basic steps of how we start the communication. On the right here, you'll see that there's a picture of a giraffe, and this is the particular giraffe that we received the message from in Kruger Park last year about sending love with a clean heart. And this was such a big message at the time, because I've always taught that we connect, we prepare the connection, we prepare ourselves to connect with the animals, and the connection is unconditional love. And, when we want to connect with the animals, we send love. And that still is the case. But what Giraffe was saying to me was, what people are doing at the moment, and people need to be aware of, is all the sort of clutter that comes with that love that we send. It can, it's almost like it is contaminated by fears, by anxieties, by all sorts of things that we carry with us through the day. So what Giraffe was saying is, before you start the connection, make sure that your heart is clean. And we can do that by doing something similar to that meditation, the opening meditation in the beginning, by just sitting, feeling that unconditional love, that rose gold light in our heart space, and just sitting there with it and feeling it without sending it out. Another thing that actually the lions communicated to me, when I asked, how can we clean our hearts? The lions actually said to me, just be in nature, be with nature, and we will clean your hearts. So even if your nature is a pot plant in the room, just sit quietly, feeling that unconditional love from Mother Nature, clean your heart. So I would say, before you actually want to consciously start connecting with an animal friend, is to just sit quietly for a few minutes and do the breathing exercise, and then feel that unconditional love just cleaning your heart, until you feel like you are very centered, and that your mind is empty of all your sort of logical monkey mind thoughts. That's the space we need to be in when we want to connect and listen to the animals. So when we prepare for connecting, it's very important to set the intention. So you start doing the meditation, doing the breathing, doing the clearing of the heart, and then you set your intention to communicate clearly and concisely with this particular animal. So what we're doing now is we're setting our intention to communicate with Barbie. Her picture will come up on the screen just now. And we are only communicating with Barbie. We are only connecting with Barbie. And Barbie is at this moment living in Cape Town. She's in Cape Town as we speak. So she's far away from everyone on this call. And one of the things I know people ask me is, well, how does it feel when a whole group of people connect with one animal? What it is, it's actually because of the intention is about pure love and wanting to understand and wanting to help the particular animal, the feeling is actually very supportive and welcomed by the animal. And especially if we always ask for permission before we continue the communication. And the reason why we ask permission is sometimes you might not be in the right space. We clean our hearts before that, and we send that clean love, and then we ask permission. And if things don't feel right and don't feel centered, then I would say try again later, try it another time. Another way that permission might not be granted is by if you are really, really connecting, but you're getting nothing back, or you feel like you're getting nothing back. You may be just trying too hard, or it might not be the right time for you or for the animal. So I have prepared Barbie for this communication. So she is willing to participate in this teaching session, this practice session. So if, as long as you are feeling centered and calm and your mind is clear, there's no reason for you not to participate in this at this time. So once we have connected with the love, we've asked permission, everything feels good. I want you to be open to absolutely everything and anything that comes. And I'd want you to have a notebook and a pen and write down the very first thing that comes. I'm going to be asking specific questions. And as I ask the question, probably before the question is even out of my mouth, you will start getting images or feelings or knowing, sounds, smells, taste. It comes very quickly. The information, it comes extremely quickly. So, and the moment we start doubting, the moment we think, oh my gosh, what was that? Was that an apple or an orange? I saw a round yellow thing that seemed like fruit. The moment we start questioning, then we lose all the other information that comes in because it's coming in so quickly. So the moment you see that yellow circle, write down yellow circle. You know, if you feel it's a fruit, write down yellow fruit. So just accept and don't question. The moment we start questioning is when the doubt comes in and you start wavering from the connection. So fear and worry actually disconnect us, whereas love connects us. If you're feeling like you're feeling a little bit anxious, just go back into the heart space and breathe and send that unconditional love out again. Focus on the love. That's all you need to do. I'm going to be asking the questions, and I'm going to be asking open questions. So it's not questions with yes or no answers. So it really is describe how you're feeling rather than are you feeling ill? Because, you know, that is, if it's a yes, then you're going to have to start asking, well, what's the matter? So it's much easier to ask open questions. You get a lot more information when you just verbalize that question. And I'm going to be verbalizing the question. And that means that the question is out there and then you can receive the answer. If you're doing this practicing by yourself, you can just ask silently in your mind. You don't really need to verbalize it, because what happens is before we have a thought, before we say the words, or even before we have a thought, we have an image in our mind, and our questions are around the intention of the question, and often there's an image that comes with the question to the animals. But I don't want you to get too caught up in how this works. I just want you to experience it. Once we have completed the communication, it's very important to give thanks. And, you know, really just, it's good manners. Thank you for communicating with me, asking permission and then giving thanks. And then when you end the communication, you make sure that that you have disconnected. You don't have to disconnect completely, but you withdraw your energy back into your heart space so that you're not left feeling with any lingering feelings, and they're not left with lingering feelings from you. Okay. So I hope I've explained that clearly enough. So here is Barbie. So you know a couple of things about Barbie. You know that she lives with me and she lives in Cape Town. And you can see that this photograph was taken at Christmas time with the Christmas tree in the background. So what I want you to do now is just gaze softly into Barbie's eyes. Take a few deep breaths in and out, breathing in that unconditional love. Breathing out any fears, any anxieties, seeing them transform into that beautiful rose gold light of unconditional love. And once you're feeling centered and calm, go down into your heart. So focus on your heart center, which is in the middle of your chest. Feel the unconditional love that you have for animals, and perhaps think of the being. It doesn't even have to be an animal, it can be a human being, of who you love the most in the world. And feel the quality of that love. Maybe the love that you have for your child, whether it's a four-legged and furry child or a two-legged human child. Feel that love which won't change no matter what happens. Feel the quality of that. Feel it fill up your heart, and then send it out to Barbie. Send that same love, that absolute unconditional love, out to this beautiful cat whose image is in front of you right now. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes now to be open to whatever you are feeling in this time of connection. So have your pen and paper ready and just write. Write what comes. Write what you're feeling in your heart. Write any images, any sounds, any physical feelings. Just going to give you a couple of minutes to do that, and then I'll start with the questions. Okay, so stay in that connected space. And now we are asking Barbie to show you her favorite place to sleep in the daytime. Remember, write down the very first thing that comes. An image or a feeling, or even if it's just a color. Now the next question. Ask her to show you what her favorite game is. What is her favorite game to play? Next question. We're asking Barbie to describe her home and who she lives with. The next question. We're asking Barbie how she feels about the people who look after her when Wynter is away. How does she feel about the people who look after her when I'm away? Next question. Now we're asking Barbie how she is feeling in her body physically. How is she feeling physically in her body? The next question. We're asking Barbie if she has any concerns, to show you any concerns that she has. And then the final question, we end on an open question and ask her if there's anything else that she wishes to share. So ask her to show you anything else she wishes to share. Okay, and as you end the communication, you thank Barbie. We thank her with so much gratitude and so much love for being so present with us. I felt like she was in the room with me, physically. And then just remember to end the communication well. So withdraw that energy into your heart space. You're not withdrawing your love, you're just ending the communication connection at this time. Okay, everyone. Well done. I hope you all participated in that. So now, of course, we're going to give you some feedback. What I think I'll do is I'm going to answer some of the questions, but then I'll answer each question of what I know of her. But if something else has come that you want confirmation of, then please type it in the public chat. Is that the best thing to do, Janine?
Yeah, I think so. And I've
In the
opened
public? You've opened it. Okay, great.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So her favorite place to sleep in the daytime. Well, there I've got a picture of her sleeping on the patio with her sister, Purdy. And that, at the moment, has been her favorite place to sleep during the day, especially on sunny days. Did anybody get anything similar to that, or anything different from that would like confirmation? Because there are other places that she does sleep as well, which you might be tuning into. Sunlight bright and warm by a window. Absolutely, Gail. She loves the sunshine and that warm, bright feeling. The window, there's a window. If you look at the photograph, there is the kitchen window on the left, and then there's big sort of open spaces without glass in on the right where the sun shines in. Lynn, you got a tree under it. She does sometimes, there is a tree on the side in a very sunny spot that she does sometimes like to sleep, and it's actually where Sunshine and Fred and Calico, it's their burial place, actually, if that's the tree I'm thinking of. Okay, let me go through. Window, warmth, light. Great, Kay, well done. Sue under a tree as well. There are a lot of trees in the garden, but there are a couple that she does, and know she does like to sleep under. Corinna, a spot on the floor just outside door in the shadow if too hot. Yes, there's I know where that is. That's in my office. She does like to sleep in there on the floor sometimes as well, just next to the door. Oh gosh, it's all coming through. Same as Gail, warm and sunny, dappled light and greenery. Yes, Roxana, well done. A window, a sofa, blue. There's a window, there's a sofa in Simon's office that has a blue throw on it. She occasionally used to sleep there, but not often. In a sunspot on the patio, great. Under a large tree, maybe she's started sleeping under a tree the last couple of days. Okay. Everyone's got something, sunlight or by a low window, yes. So a white rope, but it's black and furry white with which I like to play. Lost the connection when asked favorite place question. Okay, Guri, don't worry about that. All right, we're going to go through the other questions now. Well done, everyone. Her favorite game. Now, for me, she might tell you something different, but she absolutely loves chasing the pigeons that hang out in we've got chickens, and there's a hen house with a big open sort of coop, and the pigeons like to go in there to eat the chicken food, and she just has such fun waiting for them. She never ever catches them, but she does enjoy watching and pouncing, and she also plays with squirrels that we've got. She likes to chase them, and there's a lot of moles in the garden. You can see how sandy the soil is in the one picture. And when she feels a mole underground, she also sits her and her sister go and pounce on the mole. So she does enjoy, I think to me, that's her favorite game. She sometimes, I'm just thinking, occasionally I'll play with her with a string or a rope, and she's kind of interested in that, but it's not her favorite, but she does play with that. Yeah, Gail, pawing and jumping at an object, that's kind of when I'm playing with the mouse on the string, the furry mouse on the string. Chasing something feathery. Roxana, yes, there is a feathery toy on the end of the string. Butterflies. We do have butterflies in the garden, and yes, she does. I have seen her playing and chasing them, yes. Guri, something with water, something to splash on water. I think what you're seeing, Guri, is a fountain that we've got by the swimming pool. So and she does like to spend time there. She doesn't actually play with the water, but she does like to spend time there. I know what she's thinking as well. We've got a dish of water for the little birds, like these little yellow canaries and white eyes. And she's fascinated with watching them splashing in the water. So that's what you're seeing. Okay, so there's quite a few here that I'm not going to be able to comment on all of them. Chasing, catching, so a tail and a string, likes to try and catch. Definitely. She also likes to chase her sister, Purdy. So she often sometimes has great fun with her, and Purdy gets very annoyed. Small, round, lightweight item like a ball of yarn or feathers. Yes, the little toy, I've got two. One's sort of a felt mouse and one has got feathers on it. And those are the things that we play with. So that lightness that you're all getting of a game, swatting it with a paw, yes, something on a string. So I must obviously play with her a little bit more. It's probably my fault that she doesn't play too much with it. So thank you all for that. Well done. Well done. Okay. Did anybody get the pigeons? Or is that just my thing? Maybe it's maybe it's not her favorite game. Okay, describe her home and who she lives with. So I'm going to show you a few pictures here. So you saw the patio and the table. This is the outside. The building is an old Cape Dutch building with wooden floors, sort of little cottage pane windows, and large garden, large property, and quite sandy. You can see with all the drought, there's not a lot of grass around. The picture that you're seeing now is the swimming pool area where she likes to spend time. I don't know if you can see, that's her coming down the steps at the gate. We do have chickens and geese, animal friends. A calico tawny cat, yes, Gail. A dog nearby barking, that's the next door dog, so we don't have dogs anymore. There is a calico cat, Purdy, who's her sister. There is another cat as well. You can see another black and white cat there called Luna, who lives on another little house on the property. Cottage, country setting, land with trees and chickens. Yes, Deborah, well done. White, close to street. Yes, definitely. Even though it's a big property, it's on quite a busy main road. We haven't got a blue wooden. We haven't got a blue gate. And the front door is actually, it's wood, but it's brown. Big trees and mountain behind. Yes, there are very big trees. You can see in this picture, there's a lot of pine trees, lots of quite big trees in the garden. And the mountain, we are just below the mountain. So you can, I'm not sure, you can see the mountain from our property as well. Well done. 4 rooms, open space. Was with an aged woman and a man. I suppose we are aged, in our 50s. So yes, thanks. So the woman clearing things up around the house. That might be me. That might be Margaret, who's our housekeeper as well, though she is younger than me. Cats, tortoise. We used to have a tortoise, but not since Barbie's been here. Barbie's been here, but I think maybe her presence is still around, because a couple of people have said tortoise. Birds. Are there any blue ones? There are sunbirds, Lynn, which are sort of that iridescent color, and canaries. I mean, there's Cape Canaries, the bright yellow ones, which you might be getting a budgie feel from. A white and blue home. So all the walls of the house and the cottages are white. There's, on the one little cottage, there's a couple of blue sort of trimmings as well, sort of blue decorations. Okay. I think I've shown you all the pictures. There's the chickens. There's Luna and the chicken, and there's actually a squirrel in that little blue bird feeder there as well. So you can see there are many characters. There aren't any dogs actually living on the property. Where she was before she came to me, there were dogs. So you might be picking up that. Okay. Well done, everyone. The next question: how does she feel about the people who look after her when I'm away? So that was more of a feeling question. What did people get? Because, I mean, from my perspective, I feel that she really loves them. So Gail, yes, love and playful with caretakers, rubbing face on their face, tolerant of them, different relationship to Wynter, enjoys the diversity and prefers Wynter. Well, I think that's quite right. You know, she loves being with people, Barbie. So she does, and the caretakers who come in to look after her really do spoil her. There's a few different ones. So they all comb her and Purdy, and they do have a lovely relationship with her. Corinne, in the beginning, when tuning in, got her jumping up to the fence wall, walking on it and observing from there, feeling the sunshine on her back. Thank you, Karina. She does jump up on not on the high wall above the property, but she does jump up onto the sort of patio wall to observe things from there. And the sun is on her back there, so that would be. Then curly brown haired dog. I think the dogs are from her past life, actually, her past before she came to me. Okay, right. So an older woman in a floral dress, that was probably Margaret. She does like to wear really bright colors. Feel safe and content. Thank you. Hugs and hearts and a little cold. A little child. Oh, sorry, little child. There hasn't been any little children coming much to the house. There's youngsters, sort of teenagers. That might be. So I don't know how. Not little children, but certainly a teenager, sort of 15, 16 years old, and she's very fond of my stepdaughter who comes to visit. Warmth and a sense of expanding self, lovely, relaxed, in harmony with them. She knows you'll come back. She's in charge when Wynter is away. I think she probably is, in her very quiet way. Barbie's eyes smile, warm family woman, and the girl child, small girl, plays with her. I think maybe the small girl is Sue, who lives on the property as well with her daughters, but she is 16, 17, so maybe she has that small girl, the young energy, which she does actually. Extra attention and treats, yes. Lively, sweet, affection, protected, wonderful. Likes to keep the peace, takes on the responsibility, becomes even more loving and peaceful around the caretakers to bring the love out of them. I think you're right, Gary. Well done. Yes, I'd say that definitely. And gets pampered and secures herself up with the love they shower over her. Yes, she certainly does pay more attention to her caretakers, I think, than she does when when things are settled and I'm there, sort of Simon and I are there holding that family space. Wonderful. Well done, everybody. So I think it's all unanimous. It's like nobody got, oh, I don't like so-and-so, or she's concerned about anything. So, that in itself is confirmation. So, and it confirms what I feel about them as well. So thank you. Okay, the next one is her physical feelings. How does she feel physically in her body? Okay, Gail, a bit stuck, constricted, wants playful, fluid movement, but not a flexible as one. Still playful, but hurts stomach area and back legs. Okay, she is, that does resonate, Gail. There's not anything obviously wrong with her physically, but I have felt occasionally that she does have a heaviness in her stomach rather than a hurt. And she's very careful when she walks, but often did anyone pick up anything about her eyes? Because her sight isn't terribly good, but she still really is careful how she walks and moves around. She's very careful with her body. Okay, some restriction, body strong and healthy, feels young, it's something bothering on mid-back, further back, itchy, under the skin. She does occasionally get an itch. Tired, needs to rest more. She might be more alert with us being away. And I know there is a stray cat that comes, visits, that does unsettle them. And he probably comes more when we're not there. Feels like soft energy, beautiful Carol. She's a very soft cat, physically in her body, and if she got nothing, then got that she feels very light, as if she's not in her body. I think she does. She's not she treads very lightly, if that makes sense, except when she jumps on the bed, then it's a big heavy thump. But she moves very lightly, and I think it's like she moves out of her body a lot. Thank you. Very good hearing. Yes, her ears are always going, and that's also because her eyes aren't as good as they could be. Tired, a bit off balance. Likes to sleep. Yes, she does like to sleep. Okay. Some of you got very similar things. Melanie, you got that her eye hurts sometimes. I think the light, when a lot of light comes into her eyes, it does affect them. So thank you for that. Quiet, aging, grounded, floating hind paw, leg, hip. She hasn't obviously got a pain in her legs and hips, but a number of you have picked that up. So that in itself means that there is something there. I have felt a sensitivity around her back. So she's tired today as well. I'm not sure what the heat is like in Cape Town. I think it's probably, if it's very hot here, so it might also be really hot down there. So that could also promote her tiredness. Okay, well done, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. The next one, are there any concerns that she has? Okay, Gail, concerns about humans being happy about working with city organization and rules. Okay. Need to get organization into harmony, take responsibility to create order. That's interesting, Gail, because at the moment there's roadworks outside. So I don't know if that's the city organization. It seems very disorganized and very crazy out there at the moment. Within the boundaries of the walls, it's nice and peaceful, but the moment you step out of the gate, it's very chaotic. So maybe that's what she's talking about there. Thank you, Gail. Any other concerns that she shared with you? About other animals, about concerned for another animals. Okay, about a wooden window and windowsill and a spider. We do get spiders there sometimes. Humans need to let go of anxiety and fear and dust. It is, it's been very windy in Cape Town, and when it's windy, the dust, because of all this, you saw how sandy the soil is, and the dust gets into everything. So I can understand that she's concerned about the dust. People around the wetlands, anger, need guidance. She mentioned sunshine. Did she know your cat Sunshine? If not, perhaps just saying it's very hot today. She didn't know Sunshine. No, she came after Sunshine had left. But I'm sure Sunshine is around in spirit, so she probably does sense her. Okay. Okay. Worry about a man, woman, and child. Something that feels heavy, sad. I think, in every family there can be a heaviness and a sadness about things. I can't think of anything in particular right now, certainly not with me, but it might be, it actually might be the other people on the property that help look after her as well. So thank you. Okay, she said her eye concerns her sometimes. Okay, there's some things there that I can't confirm right now, dog and snake. But yes, a lot of you had similar things. Humans needing to let go of fear. The time is now to learn and to teach, to create order, concern about people and another animal. Okay. I will think about all those things, and if anything else comes up, I will definitely let you know. Thank you. Oops. And then the last thing, is there anything else that she wants to share? Is there anything else she wishes to share? And if anything came to you in the very beginning, when you first connected with her, you can share that now as well. She knows the mouse is fake. I'm glad she knows that. I'd be very disappointed if she thought it was real. Okay. Wild animal, and her role is to be Mother Teresa, meaning to pass on that wild, unconditional consciousness to urban life and people around. Lovely. She really is a healer. She, when our daughter was sick, the one evening, she would not let her leave her alone. She just sat with her until she felt better. So she's very much that Mother Teresa energy, and very much the healer and the teacher. Wants to be with Wynter in wilderness. Oh, that'd be wonderful if she could be. Loves a man in a dark jacket, Simon. She absolutely adores Simon. I always say that he's her favorite person, him and Purdy. So her and Purdy just love him to bits. She comes across as Queen of Egypt, responsible for others and a teacher, definitely. Okay, lovely, Deb, with the feelings of sweetness and look to the beauty of inner light. Thank you. Joy and privilege to be here. Watermelon, sunshine, sunlight, and the sea. Lynn, thank you. That's so Christmassy for me. That feels like summer in South Africa. Beginning of a very strong connection to a feline goddess from Egypt, divine feminine energy. Thank you, Kay. And that resonates. Okay. In a smiling way, she wanted to say that her water bowl needs a refill, but I felt she was testing me to see if I was actually going to write this down. Well, no, if it's very hot and people only checked on her this morning and it's sort of at the end of the day, she doesn't like it when her water's old, I found, so if the water's been filled in the morning and it needs to be refreshed again in the evening for her to drink from it. And she certainly prefers drinking from my water glass at night, which won't be there. So that probably is also what she's talking about, Karina. So well done. Thank you for writing that down, being brave enough. The bird sound in the background felt as sending energy to her. She's very connected to the birds, and I don't, just as play, in a playful way, she's, I could understand that you're sending energy to her. She showed you an image of a heart, thanking hands. Thank you for all the connection. Great communicators, connections being strong and loving. Do it again, sits, lifts, right door, kind of wave. Wonderful. I really felt that she was loving this time of connection. She's is an amazing teacher. I found I don't work with her very often because actually she's only been with us. Her and Purdy have only been with us since April last year, so it's not even been a year. So she's turning out to be a beautiful teacher, and maybe I'll even ask her if she wants to be one of the teachers on the academy. So wonderful. Well done. Thank you, everyone. I know some people will be watching the recording of this and practicing in their own way. So if you get information that you want confirmed, just send me a message or write me an email to confirm that for those of you who are watching the recording and don't have the live feedback as we are doing right now. Okay, well, just well done, everybody. I think you all felt the connection and you all got something there. So thank you for participating in this opportunity, and just such a huge thank you to Barbie for being there. She really was so present during this communication. Okay, so just before we go into the questions, just a quick punt of the website that's the website if you want to sign up, learn.animaltalkafrica.com. And there's also a lot more information on there. There's little videos and sort of explanation about how the platform works and things like that. So it'd be wonderful if you've been thinking about signing up. Don't hesitate. It really is a wonderful opportunity, and now you've seen the support that you have. If you've signed up and you haven't been back on the course for a while, now's your time. So please don't hesitate. Okay, so well done, everybody. I'm so pleased that that practice session went so well. And so now is the time to ask questions. The Q&A, I think, will be up. And if you want to ask a question, just type it in the Q&A box. I will see it. It won't, you won't see it on your screen, but I will see it, and then I will respond. And you can ask a question about anything, about the course, about the communication, about anything. We've still got a little bit of time. Okay. Gail, are there instructions or tutorials on how to use the forum? Absolutely. The very beginning, the very first lesson is there's a video on how the forum works and how everything works. So you really are led step by step. Will the training be live or delivered in work at own pace modules? Carol, it's own pace modules. So what you do, most of the modules is written work, or there's some videos as well. So it'll all be, you can log in your own time, in your own space. You can go through as many lessons as you want at a time, or as, as quick or as slow as you want. The only live training are the monthly webinars with me, which are about an hour long. And then there's also the past recorded ones that would be available to you as well to watch. Okay, so thank you for that. It's an important question. I didn't actually address that. Okay. Oh, to how to use the forum if you have issues with your own animals. There definitely is space if you want help from fellow students to put a picture of your own animal up, and if you are asking for help. So there definitely is space for that as well. Okay, so Stian is asking me to share some thoughts on the relevance or importance of animal communication, interspecies communication for this time with climate change so pertinent. So, I feel that if we can connect with different species and connect with nature, then we can really learn how to be during this change. I mean, I think it's vital. I think those who are feeling separate from the animals are not going to be as successful in going through these great changes that are happening on the planet at this time. I feel on an emotional level, it's really important, on a physical level, even to get advice on how to be, even what to eat and how to conserve energy. It's important. We can ask Mother Nature, we can ask the animals for advice on this, and we will get very good answers from them. So thank you. It is, to me, I think communicating with the animals is the answer for the way forward. Okay, Simon's asking, what do you cover on the monthly webinars? So the monthly webinars are mainly it's normally questions that people have for me, but often there's different themes. So I will see what's relevant. It might be something that's an experience that I've had that I want to share, which is full of teachings and learnings for the students as well. And I find that, when I'm thinking about doing a webinar, something will come up and there'll definitely a teaching experience happening for me, a learning and a teaching experience. So thank you for that. Okay, the help for the animals. I just want to mention, Janine's reminded me that Yolanda, who's one of the mentors, also has a WhatsApp group for it's a healing group that helps animals in distress. Is Yolanda still here, Janine? Maybe she could speak.
No, she dropped out.
She had to go. I know there was load shedding, energy blackouts in her area. Gail's asking me to talk about the connections to the white lions and the prayers. Thank you, Gail. Yes, one of the things that I do on the webinars, and that's not just for students, that's open for everybody, are the global meditations and prayers for the lions. And we've also done one for the baboons, where we are addressing particular issues. And also, I've just started something called Heart Gatherings, which you might have noticed if you are on my mailing list and on the Big Marker webinar list, you would have seen our first Heart Gathering was about elephant issues. And what we do there is we actually communicate. We communicate with the animals involved to find out how we can help them with the animals or even around the issues. So the next one, I've had a request that we work with primates in medical research centers. So that is going to be the next Heart Gathering. We haven't published it yet, but look out for that one because that's a very, very important cause at this time as well. Okay, Andy has asked, is it important to be good at meditation to start animal communication? Absolutely not. You don't need to be able to meditate. And I remember when I first started teaching, someone said to me, I'll never be able to communicate because I can't meditate. And it's not about meditation. It is about clearing your mind and clearing your heart and being open to that connection. But it certainly isn't about meditation. During the course, you will learn how to meditate, and perhaps you will get better at the meditation side. Meditation is just one of the tools that you use. But certainly to have that connection, you don't need to know how to meditate. So thank you for that question. Carol's asking about a yearly conference for animal communicators to get together. It's a very good idea. I know there are a few, I know in England there is something that happens yearly, but it's more of a conference of speakers about animals and put together on animal communication. So I've not, I haven't actually created a conference for animal communicators, but it's a good idea. So maybe we should start something like that, in a different place every year or something like that. Very good idea. Thank you. One of the things that I want to do with the Heart Gatherings, and this could be something similar, is to create, we'll have the online Heart Gatherings and then do an in-person gathering at different spaces for animal communicators to really start addressing all these issues in person, sort of having a heart storm with nature. Okay, let's see the next one. Okay, yes. One of the benefits of being a student is on the workshops and retreats, you do get a 20% discount usually for the workshops. So that's always a good incentive as well. Okay, Gary's asking, can anyone be added to the healing group on WhatsApp by Yolanda? Janine, you know more about the healing group with Yolanda. I'm sure, I'm not sure if it's just for students only or if it's for other people.
No, there are other people. Guri, I'll send you a message. And anyone else, you just let me know. You can email me and I'll sort that out for you.
Okay. Great, thank you for that. Okay, Gail's asking, will there be a book or place now or in future to review these animal stories, Biggles and all our stories for inspiration? Yes, I'm hoping there will be. So it's a great idea. As you know, my book Biggles, I am redoing. I've got delayed in my rewriting of it, so which has got more missing animal stories in. But yes, you know, definitely the case studies. I mean, if we could put all the case studies together in a book, that would be fantastic. It would be an amazing inspiration for people to learn animal communication. And Gail, yes, I do the retreats and the white line trips, which is, yeah, for learning communication. Thank you. Okay, great. Do I have any in-person workshops in 2020? I am working on them at the moment. There is going to be, you know, for some reason, 2020, I didn't plan too much, and it's all coming together now. So as long as you're on my mailing list, Guru, you will get informed of all the in-person workshops. There will be not too many, but there will be a few local ones here in South Africa, and possibly in Europe as well. I'm planning. I've been invited to go to San Diego in the States, so we're working on those possibilities. It's all still a little bit up in the air, but the moment everything is grounded, I'll put it out on my newsletter. So thank you. Okay, everybody. I think that's probably it for the questions. Thank you. Some very, very good questions there. You had my head racing to answer them all. And now I think we've got about a few minutes before the end. We have run over time. The published time was an hour and a half. So I'm sorry if you couldn't stay until the end. But for those of you that have stayed, thank you. And let us just do a closing to end. Okay. So once again, just make yourself comfortable and feel your feet firmly on the ground. Either close your eyes or let your eyes just land softly on this image of the white line in prayer with the person celebrating them. And just slowly focus on your breath. Take a few long, deep breaths in and out. Coming back to your center. Take your focus down to your heart center and feel that beautiful energy that has surrounded you during these last 2 hours. Surrounded you, filled you, that you have become part of. Feel that connection that you have with all beings, seen and unseen. Feel nature holding you, supporting you, protecting you. Feel anything negative being transformed the moment it touches that golden light. And carry this light within your heart at all times and shine it out. Knowing that every feeling that you have, every thought that you have affects the world around you and affects your own body. So acknowledge the fear, the pain, and the suffering, but also acknowledge the joy and the peace and the beauty, and find that balance within yourself, within that beautiful rose gold light of unconditional love, and know that all is as it should be at this time. You are where you are supposed to be, doing the work that you are supposed to be doing. And for that, I thank you. Feel your feet once more firmly on the ground. Feel yourself grounded as we end this call. And I'm sending you so much love and many, many African blessings, and ask you to go in peace until the next time. Thank you.
And thank you, Wynter, for creating such a phenomenal course for us all to be involved in.
Well, it wouldn't be happening without everyone.
No.
So thank you. And it's certainly been a co-creation over the years. I mean, I think it was more than 10 years ago that I started writing the material for the course. So it has evolved beautifully over the years. Thank you.
And I love this photograph of you.
The one of me.
Yeah. On the screen, I really feel that.
Okay. I can't see the photograph of me, so I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
On the screen now. Isn't that you?
It's not me. What the one with the no, it's not me.
It looks like you. I'm thinking, oh, it's such a great photo.
No, it's not me. I wish it was me, but no, it's not. Okay, that's ending that with a bit of laughter. Okay, thanks everybody, and thank you for sticking it out for 2 hours. And I hope to see you online. And yeah, just stay connected to yourself, to all the animals, and to each other as well. Thank you.
Okay, thanks,
Wynter. And thank you, Janine.
That's my pleasure, as always. And if anyone needs to ask any questions, and you want, I'm just going to type in my email address here. You can send it to me, and I can forward things on to Wynter. There you go. So just give you a second to write that down. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend, everybody, and we'll be in touch soon.